here again. Welcome to episode 8 of my Feed the Beast 1.5.2 beta. We're still on version 0.2. I've heard no more news about the 0.5 version, but we should be hearing something today, even if that's not ready, but we should be hearing something about the 0.5 today. I've got quite a bit to get through in this episode. I'm going to start by going through the things I've done off camera. I've done quite a lot, because I was playing quite a bit yesterday. I've got quite a lot of things done. I did a bit of an adventure in the Twilight Forest yesterday, as you saw. I had some shenanigans after that I didn't record that I'll tell you about when I get into there. One of them was, one I'll mention is, because this had no fence round, a creeper had gone through from this side, so when I went through, creeper blew the portal up, couldn't get back, and I had to wait for Jim to come on, so I just went adventuring until Jim came on, and then he came through this portal, which reformed one at the other end. I could have just used a diamond at the other end, but I thought I'd just adventure there until we sorted that out. Yeah, so I broke the portal. Well, the creeper did. Arsehole, that he is. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go through the things I've done since last episode. Now, one of my subscribers, a guy called Mech, I think, is it Mech LSD? I don't know what LSD stands for, I don't know. Anyway, said that the pace of the series is a bit quick. That's kind of on purpose. There's a lot to get through, and this isn't a beginner's guide as such. It's more of a showing what I do when I get up to when I play. I will be doing a beginner's guide when this is a recommended pack, whether it's, well, when we get an ultimate pack, that's either 1.5 or 1.6. But that'll be slow pace, and I'll be explaining things in a lot more detail, and I'll be doing less off camera. If you look at my beginner's guide, I pretty much didn't do anything off camera. I just came to the next, I recorded, and then most of the time I left it until the next day. Maybe did like an hour of prep, but I didn't actually play. This server I'm actually playing, and I should possibly stream, but I'm pretty sure my upstream is not up to streaming. So I've done quite a bit of stuff anyway. So let's go through the things I have done. I've not touched bees, so we don't have to talk about bees this episode at all. These things are pretty cool. These are a new block. These are from, I think they're from Railcraft. I should actually check that. Pretty sure these are from Railcraft. I'll just check on the NEI in a minute. They're pretty straightforward. Called a smoker, and they're using vanilla items. Redstone, vanilla cauldron, and a bit of netherrack. Gets you a thing called a smoker, and it's this nice little decorative block. Railcraft added some nice decorative blocks in their latest updates. There's certain bricks like the abyssal and the white one that I forgot the name of. Let's have a look at Railcraft. I was just looking at an auto spawn there. I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. Railcraft. So there's lots of stuff in it. It is Railcraft. There's a smoker, and there's quite a few new bricks and stuff in here. As you see, got ice stairs, snow stairs, frostbound brick, quarried brick. Oh yeah, quarried, that's the white stuff in it. It's quarried stone. Iron walls, that's pretty cool. I like the fact that walls came in, but cobble walls was a bit dull. But yeah, I think there was some of the walls there before, but then I was looking at iron walls and diamond walls and shit. So that's all good. And loads of decorative bricks. Bleach bone, stone and stuff, really nice stuff. Loads of add-ons for Railcraft, and one of my favourite add-ons that I've not touched upon yet is the iron tank walls for making iron tanks, of course. Now we've also got steel tank stuff, which does has double the capacity of iron tank. So your iron tank, it's 16 buckets per block in the structure. So 3x3x3 it'd be 27 times 16, whereas the steel are 32 buckets per block, so that'd be 32 times 60, so double the amount of space per iron tank. That's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to making some of them, which will of course need a plate bender to turn steel into steel plates. Right, I won't get on with that. What I'm going to do this episode, after showing around and stuff, is I've got a couple of things to make. I'm going to make a magmatic engine. There's the bits for it. And I've got a pump to get some lava, and I've got bits there for a couple of ender tanks, and we're going to do a little lava system, but I'm not going to use nether lava. I'm going to use overworld lava. I'm going to go down into the bowels of the overworld and use little bits of lava at a time and move my pump around as needed. I don't want to do nether lava. I've done it like the last 4 or 5 wells, and I want to do something different. So to get me going until I've got my lava bees, I'm going to use some overworld lava rather than just pouring it and turning it into water. Something else in here, I think I mentioned this on a previous episode. From a chest, I managed to get a looting 3 book. That's really nice. It's quite hard to get one of them. I think E4 was after a looting 3 book for well over a month on the Minecraft server. Void chest, nice. From the same chest, I got this safari net. This is from MFR. This is why I had auto chanter on there. Not auto enchanter, auto spawner. I can't remember the name of it. Of course, this isn't working because. Oops, that's great tech. The auto spawner spawns mobs using liquid essence from MFR. If you remember in my beginner's guide, I had and in my last let's play, I used an auto enchanter to enchant books on both of them. Well, that uses liquid XP from the grinder. You can also use liquid XP in the auto spawner, and that'll spawn mobs. And it spawn mobs depending on what mobs you've got trapped in a safari net that you put in them. And there's a setting on it that'll spawn the exact mob. So if I got an enderman to the one bar of health, 1 heart of health, and then captured him with this, and then set the auto spawner to spawn it'd spawn enderman with one heart of health. If that's how I understand it. That's from Wilker's mod spotlight that I got that info from. So I should be able to spawn that, and the way they work again from his spotlight is for every 2 animals worth of mob essence that you kill with a grinder, you can spawn 1 animal. So even 2 cows should spawn 1 enderman. So every 2 cow gets, I'd get an enderman. So that's like a different way of doing an enderman spawner. Because of course, previously I've had soul shards, so I've just used the liquid essence to enchant books. Whereas this time we're going to have well, at the minute we've got no soul shards. It will be getting added. There is a 1.5.2 and it's quite different. I'm looking forward to seeing the changes with soul shards. We'll be getting it at some point. I'm fairly sure, but might try something different. Until then, say hello to Jim. I can hear an enderman, and I want to kill him because he gives me stuff. He didn't give me anything. Tight enderman. I can hear another one. Look at this. He nicked one of my flowers. Lagging a bit then, wasn't I? See that? There was a bit of lag there. Yes, certainly. Right. Tight enderman. Tight enderman. No pearls of 5 of them. I've got a few pearls. I've got another 4 in there, and I've got the 2 ready to make them. There. Right. What else have I done? I'm going to start as usual. I'm going to start at the top of my house and work the way down. Nothing up here yet. Extended a ladder there. Nothing in there yet. Just making steel and stuff. What have we done in here? Oh, I've got a bit to tell you in here. Yeah. When I've been in the nether, randomly killing wither skeletons, and I got a couple of these drop. Necrotic bones. These are new. These are Tinker's Constructs loots that'll drop off wither skeletons. And what you can do with them is my rapier here that I upgraded. I remember yesterday I upgraded it with a gold block and a diamond, get an extra modifier on. Well, if I had a necrotic bone onto this is now necrotic. So, boop. And what will happen now is that has got lifesteal on it. So when I attack stuff, it'll give me health back as well. Wonderful. Not bad at all. So, yeah, that's how we're going with that. That's a pretty cool rapier, I think. Repairs itself, it's got quite a bit of sharpness on it, and it's got lifesteal. So it'll heal me back as well. I think that's all I've done with this. I need to make another pick on that at some point because I want an auto smelting one, and I need something with luck on it. Looting, I'm going to use that looting book along with let's go down to the Thaumcraft area because that's the stuff I want to talk about next. Looting, I've got that Thaumium sword there. What I'm going to do is when I get to 30 again, I'm going to try and get repair on that. And if I don't get repair, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the uncrafting table. And the cheap way of, say we're going to get at some point we're going to get a thing with a rag that you can take enchants off. But you can get enchants off using an uncrafting table. It's going to take 2 levels to do it. What I'd do is, if that was enchanted, it'll still take the same to uncraft it. Take one of them blocks out, and then put it back in, and you can craft it again. And what that'll do is it'll craft you a fresh sword with no enchant on it. So it costs you a couple of levels each time you do it, but you can get it so that you can keep trying. Obviously it takes XP each time to try it. But rather than have something on there that I don't want, I can keep trying until I get repair. Once that's got repair on it, I'll add looting using the anvil, so that I've got a self-repair looting sword. Pretty cool. Right. I think that's a scuba hat. I don't know if that's still in the game. Okay, my chat ain't working, so I think I'm going to crash. We had this issue a long time ago in Minecraft. It seems to be doing it again. Once you've spoken a couple of times in chat, your chat no longer works. So I'm going to cut the camera, do a quick relog, so I can talk, and then when I'm back, I'm going to show you quickly the research I've done, and the new things I've crafted from Thaumcraft, and then we'll be going into the Twilight Forest again to look at where I've been, and I'll show you the map that I've completed in there, and I'll also show you how I get to the large hill that I found. So back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. So one of the things I've been skipping is my Thaumcraft research, and it's because I've done it a couple of times before and there's not a lot really new. I'm going to show you a couple of new items actually, but it's always the same process still as the previous times I've done it. So it's one of the things that I won't be showing on camera. If you do want to see anything like Thaumcraft or anything particular, just let me know, and I can do a little mini series on specific stuff. I've got no problem at all doing stuff like that if it's things that people want to see. There is some good YouTubers out there who do Thaumcraft stuff. There's a guy called Marty Plays, is real good. There's an English guy whose name I forget, who's got some really good stuff on all the new items that have come out. So there is good stuff out there, but if someone wanted, for example, me to do a Thaumcraft series, I could do that on any particular mod in depth. So yeah, let me know if me skipping over things is causing you problems. Sorry, but I'm moving around a real lot for some reason. Just about to stay still and talk, idiot. Right, let's look at what I've been doing Thaumcraft wise. So I do a little bit of this each day as I can be bothered. I've done this lots of time, you see. The first time I did it was Magic World Beta, last probably October, November. No, it would have been November, December time. And I did it all legit. Since then, I've done it about 6-7 times. I don't do it legit anymore. I use the Feed the Beast wiki. Feed the Beast wiki lets you see what aspects go into stuff, so you can just target your research at stuff. It was exciting doing it the first time. It gets a bit tedious. Sorry, as I know, but it gets a little bit tedious. What I'd really like to see is there's a new fashion, I suppose, of putting. Oh shit! Come back, you. The new fashion of putting all kind of stuff in books. There's 7 books by Greg. There's a book by Mr. Kenny there about IC2 crops. There's the book that I mentioned the other day. Always putting the bloody book down when I don't want to. Let me in. Effing thing. There's that one there by Power Crystals for the Rednet. What I'd like to see is books by Azanor, really. So showing you what goes, like books that you can possibly craft using knowledge fragments that give you lists of what goes into what material, what aspects go into what item and stuff, just so you can target research that way. I don't know, it's probably something. Just, I'd like to see an in-game option to find out rather than having to go to a wiki, or rather than have to guess it, because guessing it gets a bit tedious. So, right, what have I done? I've done a little bit more stuff. I've done a bit of stuff by accident. Like copper transmutation I didn't really want, but I was going for something else and I got that. I need to do the Wand of Equal Trade because that's one of my favourite ones in the game. I've not done that yet. A new item here, there's a Traveller's Paving Stone. There's 3 new items that I know of, possibly more, but there's 3 that I know of. One of them is this guy, Traveller's Paving Stone. Now you need 1 arcane stone block, and to make them you'd need 4 ingots and 5 bits of normal stones, 8 of them. So 1 set of that would be enough to get you a stack of these, but it's going to take quite a lot of aspects to get a stack of them. What these do, if I, for example, want to build a path between mine and Jim's or base or Tom's base or whatever, they increase your speed as you run across them, so you get quicker and quicker. I don't know if it caps at, but to travel between 2 points, it'd be really cool just to have a path made out of that stuff, so you can run really quick. I've kind of got a little path heading that way down here. Because the portal, they was able to come right around the front of my house to get the portal. Like this, it just goes up to a trapdoor there to get out behind my tower. But this path, for example, I could do to make that straight and out these things, and you gradually get quicker as you run down it. Nice addition. It's pretty cool. The other things that, as I know, I've just got some nether root there that I found in the nether, just growing a little bit, just in case I need it. The other two things, one of them is a thermocratic harness, I think it's something like that, which is a jetpack, a thermic jetpack, which is pretty awesome. And the other thing is this guy, Rod of the Nine Hells. Now, I've actually made one of these. I researched it, and I've made one. Pretty straightforward. It says temporary recipe, but it's pretty straightforward. And I'm going to show you it in action. I've got it upstairs. So I think that's all I've done. I accidentally got the first Golemancy. I say accidentally, I mean I want to get these eventually anyhow. But I got the theory of everything. That's got about 25 aspects that goes into it. So I'm quite far on. I could probably blast through the rest of that in about half an hour, I reckon. Get it all complete. I'm going to be using golems at some point, especially iron golems. They're pretty cool. I like iron golems. I don't want a tallow golem in here, but for now, that's all I've done with that. Let's quickly go show you. Oops, I want to be in here. This Rod of the Nine Hells. Right. You see across the top. Start again. See across the top of my hunger bar, I've got like 9 little icons. They're bats. They're bat icons. Well, what this does, it fires bats at stuff. It's pretty crazy. It doesn't seem to have any durability because they just regen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire 4 bats at that poor pig. And they'll attack it for you. Oh, and rain puts them out, well, it seems. Okay, I found a weakness to it then. It doesn't really work very well in rain. And over time, I just go in and out my inventory, just recharge that fully. I don't think that's meant to do that, is it? Unless it just retimes over chip. Oh, and they explode. So it's them bats you see in the nether that explode and stuff. It's them. This can spawn them and sometimes explode. Not always. But yeah, it doesn't seem to work very well in the rain. That's a bit of a anticlimax, wasn't it? Okay, let's get on with the adventuring from yesterday. Seeing as I'll take this with me, we can fire at a few things. Let's jump in here. Whee! Okay, so this is my little hut. Once we remade the portal, it came out here rather than inside. We actually remade it twice. The first time it was over there, it remade itself over there, and then when I came through, I put walls too close to it, so I came up underneath it and broke the portal again. So we had to get someone to come through again, and it put it over there this time. But this is a little place you saw yesterday. I just kind of made it a bit easy to deal with. If you come up here, this is the little path I had up onto the top there. From I was in a hill over there to the northeast, and then I ended up in a medium hill at the end of that episode, so northwest over there. Well, that was using the map. And the map I've left on the wall here so that anyone can use it. So eventually I'll be putting a world upload up at level 10, episode 10. So this magic map will be on the wall, so you can see. What I've done is I've gone around this entire area, and this entire area is 2048 by 2048, centered on where you make the map. Now this, I made the map in the overworld, so I think it's centered on when I first came into Twilight Forest. So this was when the portal was where I'm stood, so it's centered right where I'm stood. So I'm right in the middle of the map, and as you can see, I'm not in the middle of the map at all, am I? You see where I am to the southeast of the cross? That is weird. That must be relative to where I made it when I was in the overworld then. So it's based on the coordinates when you make it, I think. So that must mean where I made it when I was in the overworld. So that must be my base. Yeah, weird. Okay, I thought it'd be centered on that, but I really aren't. So that's what that gives me is 2048 by 2048, and it shows you all the ghast castles, the leech castles. You see there's that there is one of the is that the hardware, another hardware up top left, and the one to the next to the top left is a not what is it, like a worm thing. And then right in the top left of the map there, right in the very top left, is a large hill. That's the only large hill on here. So when we was hunting the hill that I cleared, the one that I finished in yesterday was the one that the castle over now, and the one to the east of that, the little hill past the Lich Castle to the east of the map from where the cursor is, that's a little hill that I cleared out in yesterday's video. So after that, after I'd done that, I went and did all this map. There's only that one large hill there, and I went to that large hill, and that's like from here it's like 1,000 meters northwest. So I wanted to create a better way of getting there, so I used the vanilla way of travelling using nether portals. And this is something I don't know if a lot of modded Minecraft players use, especially when you've got things like Twilight, like Mistcraft and stuff like that in. But you can get around pretty well using the nether. And what you have to do is you need to go to where you wanna. Well, you don't need to go to, but in that case, I went to where I wanted to place it. I got rough coordinates, and then you travel in the nether to the rough coordinates. Now, the nether is the coordinates are 8 times smaller. So if you wanted to travel 80 meters in the overworld, you only have to travel 8 meters in the. What's stuck in my door? You only have to travel 8 meters in the nether. So what I did was I took. When I was clearing the map, I took basic coordinates of that large hill and divided them by 8, and that gave me coordinates of 118 by 118-ish. So then, there's that issue. We'll come in there again. This will sort itself out when it loads. I think we need to restart the server, to be honest. It hasn't happened the last couple of times I've come in, but it's quite scary. There we go. Now I've loaded in properly. So if we look at our coordinates on F3 there, we're about 30 by 23, and so that's 240 by something-ish. So I need to go to about. So I want to go northwest, north and west, to about 118. Minus 118, minus 118 is where roughly I wanted to be. That's what I did, and it turned out I was in the Nether Fortress. So since then, today I've been a bit slack this morning, so I've made a little path, nice little speedy path to get between the spawn point there and the Nether Fortress where I was the other day. So rather than go around and down, I've come through the hill this time, and I've made a nice little stone brick path that we could upgrade with a train track at some point, and it brings us out into the Nether Fortress here. So there's where we was fighting blazes. So instead of coming all round and down there and back up, I just come straight to this. And when I was lurking about, when I was over here, if you look at the coordinates again, the coordinates here minus 130, minus 118. I thought that's close enough. So I made another portal here, and what that does is this brings me back into the overworld, but about 1,000 blocks away rather than about 100 blocks away. So it's brought me to this place. So now my coordinates are minus 1,000, minus 930, close enough. And so this is under an ocean. It's actually pretty cool. There's loads of this stuff, abyssal stone, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. And I went up there. There's a path. I swum up to the surface. There's a nice. I think it's what direction? I think it's in that direction. There's a nice hills edge biome island that I might actually make a base on, and have this as my second base. This stuff, abyssal stone. This is the railcraft basalt analog. I think it's kind of weird. I broke through the wall here. Look at this. It's like a perfectly hollowed out circle kind of thing. And there's stuff in there called dense lapis, which gives you 8 bits of lapis per block. This stuff's got potential. If I could auto smelt this, you can make it into bricks and stuff, but you need smelting first, and I didn't want to smelt it at all. So I've mined a bit of that though. I've got a little bit. And what I did here was I made another Twilight portal here, so it cost me another diamond. But what this one does is, I should have brought the map with me really, but I put it back on the wall, didn't I? Yeah, I did. What this does is this brings me out, and my coordinates are same, roughly minus 990, minus 920. And what we've got here is just over here, I haven't loaded at all, is a big nasty large hill. The one that was in the corner of the map. So this is full of stuff. Look at them, they're all them things that fire slams. Oh shit. There's a ghost, that's how you can tell it's a large hill, because they've got them in them. Scepters, I don't know what they're called. Wraiths, something like that. What you call, guy? What you call, damn guy? Yeah, dead drop glowstone. Ah, could use that, couldn't I? So we can set fire to a few things with this loading in really slow, so I don't want to go in too far because this place is terrifying. This is one of the large hills. This has got this is massive in here. This is going to have all kinds of stuff. You can see all the mobs in the distance there. This is going to take some clearing out. It's going to take, it's going to take a while just to light it up. I've run in a little bit, so I got scared. I am lagging a bit, and I don't want to risk this too much. There we go. Let's fire some bats at that guy. See, look, the bats just hassle stuff, and the blow up occasionally. And I think you don't seem to get the XP, so the bats maybe take the XP. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty cool wand. Whatever, a fun item, I guess. What kind of range they got? Oh, good range. Fire beetle thing. So yeah, they're pretty cool. Right, so that was my little adventure into here yesterday. So now I've got a kind of quick route backwards and forwards to this large hill that I'm going to be clearing out. And this is a fire swamp. Okay, so that means that this one was the... There's going to be another hill around here with a hydra in it. There's some fire jets that I mentioned. You can dig them out, and you can actually encase them in stuff as well. If you look at a fire jet, now there's the fire jet. What you just saw was the thing in the floor there. So I could dig that out, but you can also there's an encased fire jet. So that's crafted with a fire jet. So I wonder if that's 10. You can turn that on with a redstone signal, possibly. Might be useful. You're pretty cool. I just noticed this tree here with cobwebs, which means there's going to be a chest underneath it. So let's have a quick look, see if I get... Ideally, the ultimate thing from one of these is going to be a portal gun. If you can get a portal gun, I'd be really happy. That's pretty shiny ingot, not bad. Some other stuff there, I've got enough saddles. I'll leave the saddle. Let's get rid of that. Right, so that's enough of the adventuring for this bit. I'm going to head back. Have you seen a hydra? I don't know if I could show you it real quick. It's in here somewhere. Cause these are oh shit. These are special biomes called fire swamps, and the fire swamp always has a half-filled hollow hill, which is what this probably is. So it's a hollow hill that's got one side open, and the open side, there's one of them smoke blocks. Look, there's an actual smoke block. Yeah, see, I've got the hydra name up on my thing. It's going to see me anytime now, so... There he is. Big hydra with 3 heads. Fire breathing and stuff. I'll come back and fight him at some point. Things like that, it's quite fun to do with a group, so we'll maybe all come and do that. And record it, see what shenanigans we can get up to. Same as doing like killing the Ender Dragon and stuff. It's quite easy to do on your own once you've done them a couple of times, but it's always funnier doing them together, especially with PvP on, because accidents can happen. That can be quite funny. Right, I'm going to go back to my base and make a magmatic engine, and we'll start seeing about some lava power and increasing our power a bit. So I'll just... This is going slow, isn't it? What's going on? Oh, it's because I haven't loaded yet. It's moving too quick for the server. Right, okay, let's just come out of there a sec. I'll cut the camera out. I'll be back when I'm back at my base. Okay, I'm back, and I had a little look around in the overworld. I couldn't find a big enough lava pool, so screw it, I'm doing it in the nether. I blame Greg. This is temporary until I get bees, demonic bees going. I should really wall this off. It's a bit, it's a bit dangerous. But I've put an all there, and there's a big hole right to the floor. So first thing I'm going to do is cover that up by putting my pump there. And now, something that I saw Jim do, and I've never done this before, is I always put the pump right near the lava, but of course the pump will just go down and find whatever it needs. So I should have showed the recipe for the pump. My pump's really straightforward buildcraft stuff. It's just, screw it, I'll show you. Really is easy. It's just iron, iron gear, redstone, and then you combine that with, oops, wrong button. Combine that with a buildcraft tank, which is just 8 glass. Easy, 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 easy. Right. What we need to do with this is we need a couple of things. First of all, there's some crafting here. First of all, let me just get out of the way, just so not spawns on me. Kill this wither. I'll get my little cave there out of the way. That'll do. Let's get down here, get the bits crafted that we want. The video's at half an hour already, so let's crack on, because I don't want to keep you too long. Right, let's make, I don't even know what half these things are. First of all, let's get the magmatic engine made. That's pretty straightforward. Invar, when you process iron through pulverizer, you get some nickel dust. Put 2 iron ingots and 1 nickel ingot in a induction smelter, you get invar. That's how I made this. You need 11 invar for one of these. That's just a bit of silver redstone either side of it. Nice and easy. There's our magmatic engine, and we need our 2 ender tanks. Now, I've never used these before. I always used tesseracts for this functionality previously, but I'm going to have a go at this. There's a thing that I like with tesseracts, that they've got a gate condition called that can recognise if they've got a valid output or not, which I quite like using. But tesseracts do use 4 ender pearls, these only use 1, so for now these are cheaper. These might get changed for tesseract depending on how I like the gate conditions. Speaking of gate conditions, I have made a laser and an assembly table, which really straightforward. That's from Buildcraft Silicon. Laser, diamonds, redstone, obsidian, diamonds, redstone, obsidian. That's where we make them. These are where we make gates. I'll be making a gate to control this magmatic engine so that, like Jim's, it won't explode. Oops. If you pause that, you can see me calling Greg names. I shouldn't have shown that. Right, so they're there. Ah, I've left me liquid ducts behind. Bollocks. Right, back in a sec. Okay, I'm back, and I brought some bricks with me, and I made a ghostwood door. That's from the ghostwood blocks that you found in the nether. I thought that was meant to be see-through, but it looks like it isn't at the minute. I think I have seen that see-through at some point, but looks like they maybe changed it. So it's maybe causing issues. Right, so now this is at least safe from blazes and stuff. So the first thing I want to do is... First one I want to do is make sure that I've got a layer of brick under here so I don't fall in the fucking lava. Right, yeah, I've got a layer of brick all around, that's good. I'll be replacing some of these once I've worked out what I want there. First thing I need is my magmatic engine. Place onto there. That's good. And to feed liquid into the magmatic engine, that's what I forgot. I want a couple of liquid ducts so that they'll feed into that. I ain't got a bucket of lava. I actually need a bucket of lava to start this process off. And then, in the tank, like I say, I've not used these before. I'm not sure how these work. I'm not sure if they're going to take liquid in from the bottom. But what I'm going to be doing is, I'm going to get a cobble structure pipe on this with a condition on it that when that tank's full, it's going to put out a redstone signal. And the redstone signal will turn this off. In fact, I'll have it so that when the tank can accept liquid, there'll be no redstone signal, so that when it's either full or so when it's full, the redstone signal will be on, and that means this will turn off. So I can't believe I didn't bring a black bucket of lava with me. Always running all over the place. Right, back in a bit. Okay, back with lava, and I I think that has to go on the top, you know, I'm not sure. I think, I don't know if they're feeding from the sides or if it needs, well, we'll see. We'll soon see when we put some lava in there. So now I should just be able to click that. There we go. Okay, that's filling up. And the one there is filling up as well. And it's pretty cool that, well, you could before, you could see this in your hand, but you can't now. Okay, so that's filled up real quick. So that's, so I'll change that to enabled eye for now. So that is a redstone signal to work. So now it's back to the end. And of course, the other thing I need in here to keep this working is, of course, a chunky loader. And chunky loader can go there. There we go, nice little tidy system. So what you've got there, the pump is also pumping lava into the magmatic engine, so it keeps that full as well using this little liquid, 2 bits of liquid duct, and it pumps it into the ender chest. Now the ender chest is going to supply our magmatic engine back at the base, so we're going to have 2 magmatic engines, and the one at the back at the base is going to charge up the redstone energy cell. So this will take energy whenever it needs it. So I'm going to go back to the base now. I'm going to set up the other end, and I'm going to place the laser crafting and stuff, and I'm going to get a cobble structure pipe made and a simple iron AND gate. No, not an iron AND gate, just an iron gate. And see the blaze rod go over the edge? Bastard thing. I'll get that's done, and we'll put a gate on there, and then that'll only turn on when it's needed. Back in a bit. Okay, so I'm back, and at this end I've just done a simple thing so far. I've put the magmatic engine in there, the second one there, and I've just dropped the ender tank behind it, so that doesn't have to actually be on top. It could be, I could have put that to the side of the pump, and it doesn't actually have to have a physical connection, but that is connected, and that's filling up. You can see the level's going down there. The only thing you have to do to make the level go down is, see on the front there, it's got orange and blue. Well, it's the same as the orange and blue that you get on these, on the orange and blue, yeah. So the one at the top is whatever it is. So right clicking that with your Omni wrench, blue would be input, and orange is output. So that's all you have to do. So that's that. You know what we've got here is, now I've just disabled them at the minute. I've disabled my processing because I've got quite a bit of ore backed up from the adventures in the Twilight Forest. That is going down. What I've got is the most ghetto assembly table setup you'll ever see. Just so I don't have to put any redstone conduit down. I've just connected that there. This is the, obviously my floors are too deep, so 2 blocks deep, so see the conduit running along there underneath all them machines. I've just what was that route? Or was that yeah, that was redwood. Yeah. So that's just making a redstone chipset. Now, if I click on the gate there, it's not working. So I'm not sure if the recipe's changed. We'll have to find that out in a minute. Well, this is, if you look at that, the silicon is the actual chipsets and stuff. But then the actual gates that you make with them, that's classed as part of transport. So all the gates are in the transport part of the Buildcraft mod. And what we need is a basic gate. Now, before you made a basic gate by putting a redstone chipset back in again, and you still do, cool, it's just not showing any eye. So that's how you make a basic gate. These things, they'll eject whatever they make. So if you don't have a chest next to it, they'll just spit them on the floor, so you want to be careful of that. Previously I've used a relay underneath, red power relay, that just puts them back into there, which is a pretty cool way of doing it. But because I ain't got a relay, I've got to put a chest next to it. So anything that this makes, it'll spit into that chest. So we're going to want that redstone chipset, and then once it's done, we're also going to want the another redstone chipset, another gate. So I'll be back when these are done, and we'll carry on then. Okay, so there we go. We've got 2 gates in there. Now what we can do with these is open up the bottom of that, and I'll do this side first, and then we'll go back to the nether and do the other side. What we want to do is we want this magmatic engine to turn off when that's full. So if we look in there, it's only got 49,700 at the minute. It's got a long way to go till it's full, but when it is full, we want this to turn off. So what we do, we make some of these things, which are called cobble structure pipes, just a cobblestone transport pipe and a bit of gravel. Oops, another one of them. I made 3 of them for a reason. What you do is you bang that there, and now if you stick your gate on there, what you can do is you can set a condition on this. So let's see, energy stored is setting the condition to true because energy is in there. And can store energy, true. Full energy, that's off. Now, if we put it so full energy equals a redstone signal, that means when when this has got full, that will turn a redstone signal on, and that'll output a redstone signal. It's not touching there though, so that's not good enough just yet. This is of course enabled low, so if it's given an on signal, it'll turn this off. What we can do is, for the first time in this series, we're going to use MFR RedNet. Woo! We're going to make our first RedNet cable. RedNet cable is like Red Power 2 red wire, but this can actually carry 16 colours instead of having to have different colour. It's like jacketed. It's like the bundled cable. But there you go, 8 of them for 6 bits of plastic and some redstone. Now, this is the most simple way you can use this, of course. To do anything complicated with this, you need to connect it to a controller. But what we can do at the minute is we can put it there, and it's connecting to everything. We don't want it to connect to everything. What we can do is shift right click. No, I need to take some of these off. Does it not work with the Omni wrench? Now, this is the first time I've ever placed one of these in a real world. Let's just leave that off then. What you can do, the things it connects to. So shift right clicking isn't doing anything different than clicking. So I think I might actually need a crescent hammer rather than the Omni wrench. It might be too soon for this to work with. I've gone past white. Okay, I was going to make a crescent hammer and I'll see if that makes a difference. Back in a sec. Not a crescent hammer, a precision hammer. Okay, that's doing the same, so this isn't quite working as I thought it would, but that's no matter. What I'll install then is make it all go to white, and then it'll actually pass a redstone signal into these. I've changed the colours on loads of them. If you go past, you've got to go all the way around again. So let's turn these to white. I suppose I could turn them to not so the white, so that they don't trigger if I don't want them to. Black, white, there we go. And then the top one, of course, up there, it needs to be white as well. Let's try and get in at that one. White. Okay, so now when this gate behind there puts out a signal, it'll put a signal through this block and into all these blocks. So it's passing a redstone signal into all them. One of which, of course, is underneath the magmatic engine. So when that gets full, it'll turn that off. And to just test that, what we can do is, if we get a bit of access to that, we'll change the condition on there. So can store energy. So that now should be putting a redstone signal out. So if it's working, it should have turned the engine off. There you go. Engine is off because it's getting a redstone signal through the pipe, through the thing there. You can see our level's going down. It's to get to the other end and do kind of the opposite there. What we're going to do on the other end is set it so that as long as there's room in the ender tank, the right colour, yeah. As long as there's room in the ender tank, it'll keep. Oh shit! I haven't turned that back, have I? As long as there's room in the ender tank, the magmatic engine will keep pumping liquid in, and when they're in room, it'll stop. So what I wanted, that one is full energy equals redstone signal. Yep. Put our thing back. That should be working again because it's not full. Wonderful. Everything's working exactly how it's expected to work. Awesome. Right. The reason why I made 3 of these is one for the other end, which I'll go do in a minute. That precision sledgehammer, I didn't actually have to make it all, so that was a waste of some plastic, but that doesn't go on there either. Sling that in there, out of the way. Let's get rid of this wood. Okay, the other thing I wanted to make. Oops, can't type. With you in a sec. So the other thing I wanted to show you really quick is if we put one of these cobble structure pipes in the assembly table, you can make this thing called pipe plugs. These are brand new. First time I've ever used these, and once we get them, you'll see what they can do. They what you can use these for is you can stop pipes connecting. Now, I ain't got any buildcraft pipes, but Jimbo has. So I'm going to rush to his place and just get off me. Shit. That it. That was a bit painful, wasn't it? Did you see my necrotic work on the rapier then? You saw me, I got a little bit of health back when I was attacking them, even though my food was real low, because of the necrotic on their lifesteal. Cool. Let's just jump over here real quick, and then I'll cut the camera, and I'll show you the gate at the other end, just so we've got so I've got a completion on this episode, even though it's a bit long. Whee! Aerial faith plates, wonderful, and then got some slime bricks there from Tinker's Constructs. And what you can do with these plugs is you can stop pipes connecting. So if I don't know where he's going to want pipes not to connect, but say if there's two pipes running along here, if we put a plug on the side of that, that means it won't connect to a pipe next to it. So you can put a gold pipe next to that now and it won't connect. Wonderful. I've got applications that are going to work for that, but I think you just, how do you get that off? I thought you'd right click it with a, oh shit, nose into his stuff. I'm just going to break that for a sec. Oh shit, knocked a hole in his wall. It's all going wrong. Right, put that back. They're pipe plugs. Stop pipes connecting. They stop pipes connecting. Throwing them at him. And now, oh shit, it's too far. So I'll let him play with them, and I'll be back in the nether just to set up that control on the other end. Okay, I'm back for the final time. And if you look, if you come back here, if you look at the door from a distance, it is actually see-through from a distance. Look, you can see the pump in there. So as you get close, it goes solid again. Weird. And the ender tank doesn't show for it, but the PC pump does, and liquidux do. Weird. Okay, so what I've done here then is similar to the other end. All I've done is structure pipe with a gate on it there. The gate is set to space for liquid, redstone signal, and of course this magmatic engine was set to redstone signal, it's set to high, so the redstone signal will actually turn this on. So whenever that drops, this will turn on, fill it back up. Now this will run for a little bit, and the pump's got a bit of internal storage, so it kind of it'll stop itself feathering so much, because this will run as soon as there's a gap there, and it'll pump to fill that up really quick, and it'll put some into the internal buffer, so it won't have to turn on straight away. So that's actually still pulling from the other end, and you see it hasn't turned back on yet. It might take a little while to clear the internal buffer of that before it pulls anymore. So that's kind of awesome. So it stops it from feathering, which is what we want it to do. So hello bat, you can't get in. So there we go. System with control on it. Now I'm going to end the video there. Sorry if it's a bit long. We're about 40 minutes I think, so it's not too long. I've done longer stuff. Yeah, I hope it's entertaining, and I hope you join me next time. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Cheers. Bye. Holy shit, I'm back for a sec. I came out the door and that bat exploded and blew me over the edge. And this was one of the little ledges that I've got the nether brick fence on. I landed on the edge there. Then a gas came and started shooting at me, so I had to dig my way in. Shit, I don't know how I didn't survive. How I survived that. Christ, so close to falling to my death then. Yeah, it knocked me off the edge, and I just managed to land on this little lip. You can see there's a... I don't know if you can see any more lips. So lucky. Christ. Whew. Okay, cheers, bye.